Good morning. This is the Eager Beaver Show.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated podcast. True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. PsychicTarot.ca, book your tarot reading and unlock your spiritual journey. And the Pepper Master, hot pepper sauces made from farm-fresh ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
Well, good morning and hello, kids and cubs. Hello, DAMFAM, et bonjour de la belle ville de Québec. And welcome to episode number 79 of the True North Eager Beaver Interview Project, also known as episode number 712 of the Daily Beaver Morning Show. Always 100% Canadian. Today, recording date is Friday, August 8th, for broadcast on Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. So we're doing a little bit of time traveling. I am your host, the Eager Beaver, pronouns he, him, hey, Mr. Beaver A. And with me is my good friend, Mr. Grizzly. Yay! A big thank you goes to our podcast founding sponsors, the Pepper Master, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, and PsychicTarot.ca. Mr. Grizzly, how is your mental health today, sir?
My mental health is really good, actually. Now, I was able to catch a few minutes of this morning's show that we had taped last Saturday, and I've well adjusted to my new schedule. I'm good now. Although sometimes I'll find myself falling asleep at 9:30 p.m. I'm quite okay with that. That's 30 minutes before my bedtime. Scheduled bedtime 10 a.m. up at 4 a.m. and away I go. I've adapted to it quite well. I'm doing much better today than I was a week ago, and I think it's nothing but steady and straight ahead as we go.
Nice.
I'll say I've plateaued.
Okay.
So it was, I've hit I know they say plateau, you climb up the hill, but it felt like I was going downhill. But anyway, I'm doing good. Yeah, and the mental health is pretty solid. I see, like I said, I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's shining bright, which means on Friday morning I'll have my first full paycheck, so I can breathe a sigh of relief and pay a couple of bills. So yeah, things are looking up, and I'm feeling good. I won't be in the black for a while, but I just won't be hand to mouth anymore. So that does a lot for your mental health, right?
Yeah, indeed. And everything's going well. People are nice still. Making good progress.
Yeah. Getting a fair bit of work done. We've troubleshot a few things, taken a few courses. Although one course today, I was banging my head against the wall. You need an 80% passing grade, so I took the thing and I got 75. And I go, oh, okay. I redid it, and then I got 70, and 65, and then 60, and then 60, and then 55. And I went, okay, I'm going the wrong way here. Let me go back over the subject matter. It's really dry and very technical, but it's not my area of expertise. This I have to take this course. It's not my area of expertise at all, and it's outside of what I do. So yeah, it was frustrating. So I took the test again at the end of the day, and I scored a 75. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to call it a day. I'm beating my head against the wall. I'm frustrated. I got a headache over this. I can't see it. I will come back on Monday. I'll reread the information, and then I'll take the test again, and I'll get a 90%. It was just, you know how you get into a rut? And I was in the rut. You're reading, and it's like you're just not. I wasn't able to retain anything today. I was making notes, and I'd look at my notes when I was taking the test, and I'm like, I don't even know what the notes mean anymore. It was just an empty-headed day. I took 2 courses today. The first one I aced. The second one fell flat in my face.
Okay, cool. For me, things are going absolutely fantastically well. On a little
You're
bit
in
of vacation
Quebec City,
here. Yes, enjoying Quebec City. Had dinner at my favorite restaurant in the whole wide world last night, La Garola, which is a fondue place, Swiss fondue
Okay.
place. So gorged, and then we went to the Plains of Abraham, and there was some fireworks, so we were able to watch from there, and had
Nice.
a good time. If whoops, you might hear some bells here.
Is Festival de l'Été already over? That happens in July, right?
I believe so. Yes, the Festival
Yeah,
d'été is already over. Yeah.
yeah.
Apparently there was a transit strike during it as well.
Oof.
So, but they still set record numbers.
Oh, I believe it. It's a massive festival. Massive.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and then of course, got to watch. I didn't get to watch live because we were at dinner and whatnot, but I watched after and got to see Vicky win.
I read about it this morning, and I'm like, holy crap. 18 years old, just won her first major title. And as we all know, we've talked about it, it should be a Grand Slam. It's the
It
third
should be.
oldest tournament in the world, isn't it?
Second.
Second oldest tournament in the
Yeah,
world. There you go.
Wimbledon's
Why
only
isn't it a
older.
Grand Slam? You know?
I have no idea.
And with all the great tennis players this country has been churning out over the last 15 years, maybe we can get it as part of the Grand Slam.
Somebody would have to step aside. I mean, I'm not sure you can get rid of the U.S. Open. That's the problem.
Why would you get rid of one? Why not just add one? There's more people now. There's more players now. There's more talent now.
They would have to find another name for it than Grand Slam, because if you add a fifth one, but yes, but it should be. It should be. It is very prestigious.
Call it a Grand Slam because let's face it, it's not baseball. It's tennis.
Yes, that's true.
Grand Slam is, bases loaded. You hit a home. That's 4 runs. Call it a Grand Slam anyway. Make it 5. So what?
But I'm so happy. She rises to 24th in the world.
And she's
going to be seated at the U.S. Open. She's probably not going to play Cincinnati next week because of the thing that she did to her wrist. Give her a chance to rest.
Breather. Yeah, take a
breather. But yeah, she enters the U.S. Open as a seeded player.
Well, and she beat the woman who she worshipped growing up.
Yep.
Like, how cool is that?
She beat 4 Grand Slam title winners.
Yeah.
In like 11 or 12 days, in order to get. Only Serena Williams did that. Because Serena Williams was like a couple of days younger when she did it. I think back in 1999, on her way to her first Grand Slam title, I think.
I don't want to be premature and say Victoria could be the new Serena. I don't want to say that because I don't want to put that kind of pressure on that young woman. But she's showing some serious promise. And again, she's 18. Give her time to really find her game. But wow, Canadian women are really kicking ass on the world stage right now.
No. So excited. All right, kids and cubs, we have a guest for you today, and we are very happy to have this guest with us because it's a return guest, and we had hoped that we would be able to do this. Weren't absolutely sure because schedules being what they are, especially when you're involved in this type of pursuit, there's lots of demands on your time. But she was able to find a little bit of time for us, and I do stress a little bit because things are very busy right now. So we are going to maximize the time that we have with her. But kids and cubs, you know her, you love her, 22 years at service, and decided to step up and serve again because somebody had to. So kids and cubs, please put your paws up and give a big round of applause for the independent candidate running in Battle River-Crowfoot, returning to the Beaver Lodge, Bonnie Critchley.
Good morning. How's everybody today?
Very well. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Let me just adjust the camera here slightly. There we go. That's slightly better. How you guys doing?
If I was any better, I'd be a twin.
I didn't catch either of that.
Yeah, we both talked at the same time. Go ahead, Paul.
If I was any better, I'd be a twin.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough.
And I'm just happy. I'm a tennis nut, so we just won a big thing. So
Yeah, I
Nothing to
saw
bring you
that.
down.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing to
Sorry,
bring you
I'm a
down.
hockey guy.
Yeah,
I'm a hockey
no,
guy.
that's
I'm sorry.
no,
So,
no, that's totally
No, no.
cool. So am
Okay.
I. You know.
Hockey's good too. They're all good. We like all the sports.
We love to see our Canadian athletes kick ass on the world stage.
we absolutely do. Absolutely.
Yeah. How's your mental health today, buddy?
Well, I'm tired for some reason,
Gee,
Yeah.
but
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Anything
Otherwise,
going on?
it's just this little, federal by-election where I'm running up against the leader of the Conservative Party. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah,
whole
that's
thing.
okay. He didn't bother to show up to the all candidates forum last night. So
Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not.
We had a feeling that one wasn't streamed, so he couldn't get clips off of it. So we figured he wouldn't.
yeah. Well, I've got some clips if you want them. I can check
we
with my
do.
team. I do have some clips.
Oh
We'll
yes.
accept them, please.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll have to take
All right.
absolutely.
We'll get
Yeah.
you connected with my media relations manager, and we'll get that all sorted out for you. All right.
Perfect. Exactly. No, that's fantastic. Yeah, we could be able. I think we should be able to cut them in because we have a couple of days before this goes to air. All right. Well, hey, general basic question, I guess, to start. Right? You've been generating a lot of media buzz. We've been sharing every time we see you on different media. Power and Politics, Ryan Jesperson, covered in the Tyee, profile in the National Post, lots of other things too. The Breakdown with our friend Nate, you were there too. How's it been going so far, do you feel?
Surprising. Very surprising. Now, I knew people were upset when I started. But and when I had talked to you last, I hadn't done quite as many doors as I've done now.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who are upset.
Oh.
There is a lot of people who are upset. There are a lot of folks here, hand to mouth, and worrying about bills and if they can eat or if they're going to pay their rent. And for some guy's ego, we're paying another $2 million for a by-election when we already elected the guy we wanted.
Yeah.
So it turns out a lot of people are choked. They really are. And I'll go within 4 doors. I'll knock on 4 different doors. And the second or the third one might have an angry Poilievre supporter, but the rest are like, no, I'm the only one in this neighborhood, but I like what you're doing and I'm upset. All 4 doors on the same street. Sorry, all three of the 4 doors on the same street say this to me. Wow. So there is a very quiet anger, but there is a very palpable anger. You don't know it unless you go knock on those doors. So it's not gonna. I've made him work. I have made him work. Maybe for the first time in his entire career, he is actually having to work.
I think you're right.
We've been noticing that, making a couple of comments there. It's like, he's campaigning like he thinks he has something to worry about all of a sudden. I've noticed yes, the recent rash of all these like really negative statements and a whole bunch of red meat stuff talking. I mean, you have a gun policy too, but he's sort of talking about guns all of a sudden, and then talking about.
Wait, when did we first do our last interview? I think that was the first time I brought up.
Yeah.
That's the first time I brought up firearms, and he didn't bring it up until the Camrose forum.
Yep.
Yeah. He has to wait till the cameras are on him, right?
Yeah, but also he just thought he had it like that. But now there's a couple of other ones now, like he's come out with this Canada Sovereignty Act, which is just like, really? Gee, I wonder where we heard that one before. So that one sounds like a lot of red meat thrown to the people that he absolutely is desperate to get out to vote there, because everything in that is an idea that's already been proposed from somebody else somewhere. Yes. In a package that's already been advanced by somebody else who's not particularly popular. So, yeah, interesting. Okay. What else are you hearing on the ground specifically when you're knocking? Because you've had a chance to knock on more doors. What are you, other than upset or quite upset with Pierre, what else are you hearing? What are you learning?
The pretty standard stuff. Alberta really does feel alienated from Ontario. And again, this goes back to the fact that the election is over by the time it hits Ontario's western border.
Right. Right.
So there is a great deal of interest in electoral reform, and not that band of monkeys that I won't give them any more airtime to.
Yeah.
But mostly because they're actually encouraging people to not vote with these antics, and they're putting they're making democracy harder to manage with these antics.
Right.
So I'm not going to give them any more airtime. I do want to look into electoral reform, and there is a reason that Alberta does feel alienated from the rest of from Ontario East. Now, I've also lived in the Maritimes, and I know the Maritimes feel forgotten by everybody. But
Oh yes, I've lived there too. I've lived in Cold Lake, Alberta, and I've lived in Gander, Newfoundland, and Chatham, New Brunswick. So, we both have lived experience in that regard. We both have that same sort of vibe and understanding, if you will.
Yeah. So one of the interesting things is people would like to see healthcare go federal. I mentioned it as an offhand comment because I can't actually do anything about healthcare in Alberta. It is a provincial jurisdiction. I can't touch it. But the idea of healthcare going federal really seems to resonate with a lot of folks, and not just the military folks where whole families are uprooted and moved across the country, because we are in the middle of posting season here, gentlemen.
Yes, we are.
So we've got families moving all over the country right now. So that's interesting. It would require a constitutional rewrite, I believe.
Yes.
I'll have to double check on that. I'm fairly certain it's a constitutional rewrite, but there's surprising energy and acceptance for this idea of a federal healthcare system. Still tailored to the local area. Like a dispatcher in Toronto is not going to understand when I'm calling for help at the old New Miller place where I need help to, but somebody who's in the area does. So, I mean, there's an insane amount of logistics, and I don't even know if it's feasible, but there's surprising interest in that. And there's interest in not leaving Alberta or leaving Canada, Alberta not leaving Canada, but addressing some of these concerns of Western alienation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of people have a lot of thoughts. The candidate forums have been very interesting. We basically all want the same thing, most of us.
Mm-hmm.
But we have vastly different ideas how to get there.
Okay.
And that makes legitimate sense. The one, I guess, I was so constituents of you've obviously met with a number, and they've discussed, I'm sure, who they intend to vote for. If they say they want to vote for you, what reasons do they give? Now, we've kind of covered this, but I just wanted to sort of dig into it a little more if we could.
The big thing is they want a conservative MP.
Right.
But they don't necessarily want an extreme right-wing MP. Now, I'm a centrist with right leanings.
Yes.
Right. I am a centrist, but I do lean more to the right. And that is actually where the most people sit in this riding is right leaning. They don't like either extreme, be it left or right. They like the centrist, and they're tired of the divisiveness.
Mm-hmm.
I must say that was the interesting thing about the Stetler candidate forum yesterday was the clown circus didn't come to town yesterday.
Okay.
So it was a nice, quiet, respectful conversation the entire way through. There wasn't anybody hyping up crowds in the parking lot or being silly. Or a big gathering of a certain person's supporters making everybody else have to sneak around them to get in the main doors. It just wasn't there.
Okay.
And it was nice. And people were going table to table to table to talk to all of the candidates and ask them questions.
So it was a civilized, adult, organized moment, right?
Absolutely. And people were so much happier with that. So much happier with that.
I like the sound of that because it's as grassroots as it can get, right? You don't have the big machine coming in and trying to take it over. I mean, look, I personally love the moment where you said, how many people here, and, and how many of you can vote?
Less than 1/3 in the crowd stuck their hands up.
Right? Because you're busing people in from outside the constituency just so he has a cheerleading section. How weak and narcissistic and how, I'm sorry. It's like, I just don't get that. It's politics. Why do you need a cheering section? And a cheering section that cannot vote in the election.
To create the illusion for the clips, though.
That's all
The
it is.
illusion of undenied.
But what he doesn't seem to realize is that this constituency isn't going to get the wool pulled over their eyes. It's not a federal election. It's a by-election. And he's trying to apply federal stuff where he can get people fired up across the country to vote for him because look what he did. The people in that riding are paying attention. I know this because they're still pissed at Damien.
Yes. And we liked Damien. He showed up. He answered his emails. He took the time to sit down with people. Whether you supported all of his policies or not, he still took the time to be here.
And that's respectful.
And that's respectful. And that is the biggest thing missing with Monsieur Poilievre is there is no respect.
None. Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Mr. Worthy had another question?
Well, I did. I wanted to follow up with that. So if they said to you they wanted to vote for Pierre Poilievre, did they give you a reason why? Because I'm sure you have heard that, right? But
mostly because they think he is going to be the one to hold Mr. Carney responsible to things. So I will point out to them, I try not to argue with people. People's opinions are their opinions, and I don't need to change them. I will point out the fact that he's got a leadership review in January, and he is already the, 338 Canada. It's not a poll, it's a projection, but the projection shows him already missing, 12% of Damien's numbers?
Right.
Already. And that's just a projection. That's based on historical data and fancy math. That is not polling.
Right.
I'm going to guess, just going door to door, my educated guess is it's much closer than that. So do you think the Conservatives are going to keep a lame duck on as a leader who's already proven he can't run against Mr. Carney? And do we expect, again, as I said last time, do we expect him to, if he fails this leadership review, is he going to be content to sit as a backbencher?
No.
3,000 kilometers from where he wants to be?
No.
Yeah, no.
So we're doing this again for another 2 million in February.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is the only thing I point out to them. I'm like, you need to vote for the candidate who speaks to you, but keep this in mind.
Okay.
Keep this in mind.
Yeah, very important. When you're knocking on the doors and you're learning, you're talking to people about issues, have you heard anything that has caused you to alter or change your platform?
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's where the infrastructure, working with federal infrastructure grants to deal with our roads. Suddenly everybody's talking about roads again. Deal with the internet, trying to get broadband to and other communications to the remote parts of the area. The agricultural innovation point off my platform came out of this as well. Okay. And these are the kind of things, and electoral reform, which isn't on the platform because I don't know what it looks like yet. And I'm still researching that. But these are things
take a long time to put together too. Electoral reform it's a long, slow process because you have to view so many different things to check off. Constitutional. Do we have to rewrite things? So, yeah, there's no sense in putting it out there right now. Say yes, it's on the plate, but it's going to take some time, right?
And the other one is corporations, dealing with corporations, because all the family farms are disappearing and they're being bought out by corporations. Plus, corporations are also not just immigrants, but corporations as well, is what's dealing with our housing problems because they're bought out by giant corporations like Brookfield and whatnot. And the corporations are jacking the price, and they're saying you can't have animals and you can't have kids, or you have to fit these really tight restrictions, right? So combating corporations has also come onto my radar as a result of door knocking and my own personal experience, because Veterans Affairs sold out third-party contracted
Yes.
services to veterans to Loblaws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would explain why my experience with PCVRS was so bloody brutal.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
not happy. Sorry, PCVRS, Partners for Canadian Veterans Rehabilitation Services, is the Loblaws program that assists veterans.
Okay.
So we have to deal with them if we're dealing with Veterans Affairs.
And you've had to interact with them yourself?
Oh, yeah. And they insist you use their own providers, their own psychologists, their own therapists, etc. You can't use your own people that you know and are comfortable with. And I can tell you, it took me 4 or 5 therapists before I found one I could work with.
Wow.
Oh boy. Jeez.
Yeah, that's.
But I have to use
more
their
privatization, right, of our public system. Not
exactly. But it's provincial, so I can't touch it.
Yeah, I know.
Privatization of healthcare.
Yeah.
So yes, these are things that, yes, my platform does remain flexible, simply because I'm not doing this for any personal edification or glorification or ambition. I'm doing this because we deserve a voice in Parliament.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't have one with Polyev. You won't.
No. So when I say my voice, your words, it's very slogan-y, but it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really actually kind of funny when I go to the door and say, so here's my little notebook. What do you want to see in federal policy? They're expecting me to talk at them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I'm like, no, you talk to me. And then as I start writing it down, it starts flooding out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, they've probably not been listened to in decades, if ever.
I mean, Mr. Keurig was pretty good. He tried, but he was a backbencher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I also heard you talking a lot about right to repair over the past
Yes, right. That was the other one that came up. Chatting with a farmer in Oyen who had to bring somebody from the city to change his air filter on his tractor. We have these skills, tools, etc. to do this.
Well, yeah.
But if he does it himself, he voids the warranty on his multi-million-dollar machine.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So yes, my platform is flexible because this is things that my neighbors want to see. And it's not about me talking down to them and telling them what I think. No. It's them telling me this is what we want to see.
Okay. Now, you referenced it a bit because we got to see one of the forums. I think there were 3 organized in all. That first one you went to, what was your experience of it, and how did you feel that you performed during?
I came out a little angry. We were talking respect. Mr. Poilievre absolutely disrespected everybody. Completely and utterly. The Camrose Chamber of Commerce had made requests of the candidates, had us segregated out in a green room in behind and the whole 9 yards, and we were supposed to go in a different door, and they had all of our teams set up in the hot lobby, etc. Well, Monsieur Poilievre, with is it Garrett Genius? He's the MP for Fort Saskatchewan and Sherwood Park. They had busloads of people, and they convoyed down to the Camrose Forum. And they're off on one side and honking and making a nuisance of themselves. And instead of being with the rest of us candidates, because there was a conversation I had related to with Mr. Spady and Mr. Bridges about some of the features in Three Hills that we're all familiar with because we live there. And somebody asked me, one of the reporters later asked me, so what was your conversations with Mr. Poilievre like? I'm like, didn't have any, because he didn't show up in the back. He sat there pumping up the crowd in the parking lot when he finally showed. And then he walked in through the front door leading all of his supporters. after, he walked in through the front door and eventually made his way backstage just to fall in line for us to walk to our seats.
So he feels the rules don't apply to him, right?
The rules do not apply to Monsieur Poilievre, which, if we keep in mind, he's under a lifetime agreement with Elections Canada for violating rules. So let's just keep that one in mind. But no, I was angry. So the first one, he disrespected our hosts.
Mm-hmm.
He disrespected the other candidates. And most of all, less than 1/3 of that sold out building could actually vote. He disrespected my neighbors.
Yes.
He disrespected all of the constituents here in Battle River-Crowfoot. And I came out angry. So it took me a couple of questions to settle down, because disrespect is just gross.
Agreed.
Especially when you need something from us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
we had that same feeling.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just saying we had that same feeling after we're watching this. We're like, oh my God, he's like disrespecting everybody. He's literally phoning it in. Like he showed up like he didn't need to prepare. He didn't have very much to say about Battle River-Crowfoot in that whole thing.
No, it even says on his Facebook he's still campaigning for PM.
Yeah, it's not a job you campaign for. That's the other thing. It drives me nuts. You don't campaign for that job. We don't elect a PM. We elect a parliament. So he's lying again, which is something he's pretty well versed at. Sorry, I get really emotional about certain things. It's when I see somebody taking advantage and disrespecting and blatantly outright lying to your face.
Mm-hmm.
And expecting you to just accept it. Gets my hackles up.
Yep. He showed up very briefly backstage, shook everybody's hands, then we fell into line. And then the intermission, he tried again. And I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom here, man. Go talk to someone else. And he just disappeared.
Okay. So you ended that one angry, but how did you feel about your performance?
It wasn't horrible. I do, and I realize that everybody's mad at me for picking on Monsieur Poilievre because I kept calling out him dodging answering questions.
Right, but he
wasn't actually answering the questions.
Yeah.
But I managed to get some platform points out, and I got out some of the important ones. And by the end, even the crowd just kind of went quiet.
Yeah.
And so even Monsieur Poilievre's supporters were clapping at the end.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
And then that was the Camrose. That was the Camrose forum.
Okay. Bonnie, I know that.
Sorry, you can if you watch the clips for the Camrose forum when I called Danielle Smith a traitor, and I got equal boos and cheers.
Yep.
Yeah, the boos were from the Bust-In supporters. They were coached.
Of course.
They were coached for security clearance question and questions on Danielle Smith.
Yeah, and Carney too. It seems to be because every time Mr. Spady was talking about he liked Carney, there was there too for some reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
The next two forums didn't have near that issue.
Why am I not surprised at that?
Mm-hmm.
There were no actors in the audience for that one. There were just genuine people who were there because they're concerned about their riding, their representative, their future, having a voice in Parliament, instead of, play acting for the camera.
And the Stettler forum was half empty because it was sold out again, but it was half empty. So I wonder why that happened.
So they're stopping local people from being able to attend by taking out tickets. That's dirty.
Let's say
so dirty.
We assume that is the case. We don't know for certain. We can't say for certain that's the case.
That's true.
But we can presume and assume that was the case because that is who we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Bonnie, I know that you had a short amount of time. We do have 4 or 5 more questions. I don't know if you do have the time or if
we can manage those. If we keep them quick, we can manage. Yep.
Okay. Paul, you had the next one?
Yeah, I was gonna. I had another question about. We kind of addressed it already, so I'll just skip it. I'll jump right to the next question that I had, which is, what sort of feedback have you received since the forum? Like when you meet with people, what did they talk to you about? What went on that day and how they felt about the way you addressed him?
Well, you can see the CPC trolls on Facebook and whatnot.
Yeah.
They're upset because I'm ranting or I'm picking on Monsieur Poiliev. As I pointed out, he didn't actually answer that question. But talking to people, they're appreciating it. The people on the ground are appreciating it. They're having such a hard time getting through all the noise to separate the wheat from the chaff. And with all the excess noise, and it's not just Monsieur Poiliev, it's the entire country is making so much noise about this particular by-election. You have to do our face-to-face conversations in order to get through it.
That makes perfect sense.
Okay, that makes sense. As we mentioned, there are three others. There are two other forums. Sorry, there's some bells going on there. Two other forums. You've been to at least one, Stettler. Has the other one taken place yet?
Stettler was last night and Drumheller was on Tuesday. So yes,
Okay.
I've done all three. The Toefield one was not open to the public, and I was otherwise engaged with the Big Valley Jamboree. Anyways, so only 3 candidates showed up to the non-public Toefield one. And that was just the extreme right-wing candidates showed up to the Toefield one. Okay.
So with the other two, obviously the mood and the vibe was better because the circus didn't come to town. Did you feel that that you've had some growth from the first one in the next two when you had an opportunity to speak?
Yes, the circus did come to town in Drumheller.
Okay.
Less convoy, but there was still circus. And yes, I mean, I caught it even in cameras that I had come out too angry because I was so frustrated with the disrespect. So I managed to moderate my tone, and even with him in the room, moderate my tone and talk with my neighbors. And because the Drumheller Forum was set up mostly for the Drumheller Chamber of Commerce and the Hanna Chamber of Commerce, and once they had their tickets, then they opened it to the public. I think it was the best representation of the local crowd that we could get in Drumheller.
Okay, so he attended that one, but not the Stettler one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to say, don't beat yourself up if you thought you were being a little too angry. And I say this from personal experience of being angry in the streets, yelling at convoy people. The thing is this: sometimes you need to let the anger out so that people know how passionate you are about the issues at hand. And some people don't like it, but I'd say most people will at least pay attention and go, well, this is somebody who really cares. This is somebody who's passionate about this. This is somebody who cares about us, and not somebody who, sure, he's from Calgary, but he's been living in Ottawa for 25 years. He doesn't know what it's like to live in a rural part of the province. He has no idea what it's like to drive 2 hours to pick up a part for a tractor and then have to drive 2 hours back. Mm-hmm. And the part doesn't work, and now you've lost an entire day.
Mm-hmm. Even if he had stayed in Calgary, metropolitan Calgary is very, very different than East Central Alberta.
It's night and day. It's night and day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So last one that we have for you, because we're airing this, we're recording this a couple of days before it airs, but by the time this airs, there'll be about 6 days left. What are you doing in the final push? What's left for you to do to make sure that once all the votes are cast, that you can say, I did the best I could and I'm happy with my performance, results be what they may?
More doors, more driving, more doors.
Okay.
Talking to my neighbors, talking to our communities. It is important that everybody, even in the smallest hamlet, get a chance to have their say.
Well, that's the point of democracy, right?
It is. So
And-
a lot of driving in my future. A lot of driving.
And how's your voice holding up?
I drink a lot of honey lemon tea, maybe with a dash of whiskey, you know.
That helps. It does help. As somebody who because of this voice, and I talk a lot, obviously, honey lemon is really good when you're feeling the strain. It helps.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe a bit of mead, because, you know, medieval reenactor and all.
All right. Bonnie, before we thank you for your time. Before we go, is there any message that you would like to leave our audience with as the final days are approaching?
That it really isn't about me. It's not even about Monsieur Poiliev. This is about my neighbors. This is about the people who live here getting to keep their voice in Parliament. And that is the goal here, to make sure they have the best representation. And by they, I mean we, because I live here too.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Bonnie, thank you so much for making some time for us. We really, really appreciate it, because we know your most
Don't
valuable.
salute me. I didn't work. I was not an officer. I saw that.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Apologies.
Like I said, we know that your most valuable asset at the moment is your time, and so that you were able to make time to come and see us again and check in and give us an idea of what's going on. We're very, very grateful, and
Yes,
we're sending all our best with you. And you definitely have 2 Laurentian elites here in Ontario cheering you on. So you've converted us. We're not really elites.
No, I mean, the fact that there's a certain candidate fixated on elites while he's living in a taxpayer-funded mansion is just
hilarious.
mind-boggling. I don't understand. Okay, sure, whatever. Okay.
I would love to be able to get in touch with Jon Stewart to just say, look at this, and get his take on it, right?
Hey, I asked him in Drumheller if he was going to pay us back.
Oh.
Ignored me.
Oh, of course.
But I did ask him. I asked him if he was going to pay us back.
Good on you. Good on you.
I would have liked to have seen that.
God, yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Thank you to all of your team as well. Again, they've been absolutely fantastic, and they're a joy to deal with. So please give them our best and our gratitude.
Will do. Cheers. Thank you,
We're
gentlemen.
rooting for you.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night. All right.
Oh my God! Once again, amazing. Now, I am. I'm late.
He's kidding.
Yeah. Well, I am. I thought I love her because, you know, again, she pursues politics with the same sort of vim and vigor and passion that I do this show about. It's like, no, this is wrong. Let's make things right. And that's one of the things I love about her. She and of course she's a former retired soldier. So, where my respect for retired military folks are. My father was military, family members military, guys I grew up with military. So, I get this is somebody who understands what it's like to serve your country, and she's going to step up and do it again. Not because she wants to, but because she's like, somebody has to. And, that just, to me, it's like an Olympic athlete. You're putting your entire self out there with no guarantee of a payoff, and you're doing it because you know it needs to be done. So I apologize. I do have to go. I am 10 minutes late for an appointment, but sir, you've got the rest of the show from here. I know you can handle it. You're on your phone. Are you on your phone or a laptop?
On the phone today.
Okay, but you can hit the stop record button when you need to. And
I hope so. I don't see it right now, but it's at the bottom of the screen. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, good. Just making sure before I head out. All right, everybody. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks again to Bonnie and her team, and hopefully we'll get a chance to speak to her again at maybe election night. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I have been talking. There might be a feed election night, so you never know.
Yeah,
that we can be able to tap into and do something. But yeah,
that would be awesome. All right, kids and cubs, got to go. Have an appointment. I got to get to 10 minutes late. I will see you soon. You take care. Thank you, Mr. Beaver. Bye.
Thank you, Grizzly. Appreciate it. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm always happy when I have some grizzly time over here, kids and cubs. So yeah, shorter episode than we normally have, of course, because time was at premium. But hopefully, we were able to pack a little content in a lot of content in a little bit of time that we had. And we thank you so much for your presence and your attention today. And of course, as we mentioned before, to Bonnie and all of her team for making this happen. Because again, you always have a goal when you start, and our goal was to hopefully get her back a second time. But then, when you're campaigning, life can come at you fast. Let's put it that way, and your schedule can fill up rather quickly. So it sometimes becomes a little trickier to do the follow-up. So it's nice that we were able to do this two-parter. And, with basically, for all intents and purposes, a couple of days shy of 1 full month in between. So, she's had a more opportunity, lots of opportunity to knock on doors and meet people and, learn. And as we could say, making adjustments to our platform, making adjustments to the way that she shows up at candidate forums based on what it is that she learns and the feedback that she gets, which is really nice and definitely a refreshing change from the other guy who keeps on saying that he is going to grow and change and learn, but never quite manages to get around to it for some reason. Don't know what the issue is there, but as we mentioned, he does have a propensity for having problems with pivoting. PPP or PP. And yeah, it's not helping him here either, unfortunately. Again, hopefully the results to show what Bonnie Critchley has been indicating, because I too saw that projection from 338 Canada showing that Pierre was coming in with around 73%. But like I said, I don't know if that is based on actual polling or just past numbers, because I don't think anybody's been out. I think if there had been an actual poll specifically in Battle River-Crowfoot, I would have said that would have made national news. So I think that's just, like I said, just projection based on modeling and all that kind of stuff. But in the last 3 elections, the lowest a conservative candidate got in that riding was like 71.4%, and in that 338 thing, he came in at 73. So that's not even a full 2% stronger, and that's just based on projections. That's not on anything else on actual polling and data. And if we see things like, for example, what Bonnie is saying, what she hears at the door, that at least, there's some quiet anger. 3 out of 4 doors will mention it. And Bonnie Critchley, as we mentioned before on the show, has actually had to have a second printing of signs about a week ago now. This maybe need a little more. So signs seem to be going fast, which is usually a good indication. And then with all the additional buzz that she's been getting with the press, again, there's no polling to go on, but one would indicate that there is, one would be forgiven for assuming that all those media opportunities would be an indication that there is indeed something of some kind happening on the ground, because media wouldn't actually go out and make the effort to try and get her in terms of an interview or give her coverage if they weren't getting some type of vibe that there was indeed something happening on the ground. So right now we're seeing 73% support for Pierre, which would be about 10% down from Damien Kirk. And like I said, if that was at that point and there's more to go, and he's still not performing well, and he seems to be rather desperate based on his public pronouncements, maybe they have some internal polling that seems to indicate, or maybe when they're going door to door, they're hearing about it too, the quiet anger, and all of a sudden he's sort of has a bit of a fire lit under his butt, and thinks that he needs to do a little more. And sometimes when you think you need to do a little more, you might panic and say some wrong things that help push your number down, or give off an air of desperation, which also helps bring your number down. At some point, it can become a loop that feeds itself. So we'll see what happens eventually, and hopefully, if all goes right on the 18th itself, we'll be able to do a bit of a live show and look at the results as they're coming in, and try to get an idea of how things are going. Perhaps if we're lucky, again, there might be a feed to the campaign headquarters there that we'd be able to tap into and bring you some more stuff there. So we are working on things to try and help to bring this race to you and bring it alive, give it some color and some texture, so that you have a better idea about what's going on the ground. And this from the people who are actually participating in the race, and not just a third-party source or spun and packaged for consumption based on a party machine. So kids and cubs, very, very exciting. All right, DAMFAM, that's the end of this episode of the Daily Beaver Morning Show and the True North Eager Beaver Interview Project. We hope that you love listening to us, because we love making this for you. Oh, there go the bells again. Remember, sharing is caring, and word of mouth is priceless. So if you would, please tell your peeps and poops all about us. We would be very grateful if you did. Now, kids and cubs, if you would like to hear what we have to say on a daily basis, but sometimes you're busy and you can't tune in to watch, don't worry, because thanks to the generous contribution of the Ray Girl, you can download our ears-only audio casts, or podcasts as people call them, by scanning that QR code that's just appeared on the screen. That will bring you to our Podpage site. And if you're listening, that's podpage.com/The True North Eager Beaver, with a hyphen between each one of those words. And when you go there and you click on subscribe, when we have something fresh off the bandwidth, it goes directly into your favorite podcast feed, and you don't even have to go looking for it. We come to you because we like to help. We make it easy. So thank you for everything that you do, particularly if you are subscribing and letting everybody know that you can subscribe. That means the world to us. Now, kids and cubs, if you would like us to help, if you would like to help us, well, then, kids and cubs, maybe you would like to hear the beckoning call of Kits Elaine and Cassie and take a trip down to the True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated YouTube page. That's a QR code that's just appeared up in the corner there. If you go there, we have 3 buttons for you: like, share, and subscribe. We definitely encourage you to smash one. And remember, kids and cubs, if you happen to be watching live right now, if you smash now, you have to remember to do it before you leave. So go and smash one of their buttons: like, share, and subscribe. Give them a little tickle. It makes us really happy when you do, and it helps us with the algorithm. So thanks. Now, kids and cubs, if you would like to help us in other ways, we do incur some costs to bring this show to you, and we do hope that you like what we do, that what we do resonates with you enough that you might feel that it's something that you would like to encourage with a financial donation, or as we call it, an enthusiastic expression of encouragement. And if you think that the work that we do is worth it, then kids and cubs, please go down to our coffee page. The QR code that has just appeared in the corner here will bring you there. And that is coffee, ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, all in one word, if you happen to be listening. And if you can go there, you can make a donation to the Eager Beaver Lodge Emergency Hydration Fund, where every day here at the Beaver Lodge, we fight the scourge that is dry beaver. Ooh. There we go. So if you would like to do your bit to keep your favorite beaver moist, because a moist beaver is a happy beaver, or if you want to buy a cup of dark and bitter coffee for Mr. Grizzly to keep him happy, help wake him up in the morning, we would definitely appreciate your contribution. So come on. Loonies or toonies into the fund goes a long way, and it is very appreciated. Thank you for your generosity. Now, kids and cubs, if you are doing the Buy Canadian thing and you want to avoid the USCE Tech Bros but still donate to your favorite beaver and grizzly, well, you can do that by going to our email address. That's truenortheagerbeaver@gmail.com. And there you can do a bank-to-bank transfer, so it ensures that your transaction is entirely Canadian. No CE Tech Bros get to be a middleman and take a cut. And your favorite beaver and grizzly get 100% of your donation. It's win, win, and win. It's a triple win. It's great. Why not? So please, kids and cubs, if you would like to contribute that way, that would mean the world to us, and we would be very, very grateful. Now, kids and cubs, you can also use that email for a whole other reason, like writing to us to let us know what you thought about the show. What you think about the show, I should say. I misconjugated my verb there. What you think about the show. Good, bad, or ugly, please let us know. If ugly, be gentle, because we are sensitive, delicate creatures. But we are definitely open to some constructive criticism and constructive feedback. Or if you have any ideas for guests that you would like to have us invite to the Beaver Lodge to talk to you about what they are doing, we absolutely do take those suggestions as well. So please write to us, truenortheagerbeaver@gmail.com, and let us know what you think. It's your show too. And please know, kids and cubs, that everything that you contribute, either financially or in word or in comment or suggestion, all of it gets rolled back into the show to make it better for you, because it's your show too. And remember, kids and cubs, as we often say, if you're not able to contribute financially, don't worry about it, because the gifts of your attention and participation are the ones that matter the most to us. And again, when you share our content, when you show up, when you participate in the chat, all of that matters. Every drop and tittle adds to the pot. Don't worry about it. So we're just happy that you're here. All right, kids and cubs, if you want to reach us on our socials, at True Eager at the Blue Sky Beaver Lodge is the place where you can reach us. Also on the Jitter, True North Eager Beaver, Facebook, which is our original home, you can go there. Or if you happen to be watching on YouTube, either live with the best DAMFAM and all podcasting, or afterwards on your own time, at your own convenience, right down here in the comment section. Leave us a little something. We read everything that you send us, even though we're not able to respond to everything. And we are grateful that you take the time to send us those comments. So do keep them coming. Thank you so very much. Because democracy is something that you do, kids and cubs. Hey, if you like Bonnie, there's still a couple of days to go. If you'd like to donate to our campaign, it's a federal election. So whether you live in Battle River-Crowfoot or not, if you haven't made your maximum $1,750 donation during the election that we just had, and you have some contribution left, you can donate that to Bonnie. Donations at BonnieCritchleyIndependent.com is where you would send that. Also, kids and cubs, if you happen to be in Alberta, Mr. Thomas Lukasic's Forever Canadian initiative is well underway, reporting some good success. A certain number of canvassers that have already given their name, politicians from a whole bunch of parties, whether it's municipal or provincial, whatnot, are getting into the game and also canvassing, and you can too. So please do go out to www.forever-canadian.ca, and there you can register. You can make a donation, pledge to volunteer, pledge to sign the petition if it comes to you, or pledge to be a canvasser. And right now, according to Mr. Lukasic, there's a little bit of work for people at Elections Canada to do to verify that the canvassers are legitimate and that they will be able to take to do the work of canvassing for signatures, so that those signatures are accepted. And Mr. Lukasic says that it will take a little while, but if you signed up for that, don't worry, people will indeed be getting back to you. They just want to make sure that, again, absolutely everything is done by the book, so that every single signature will be counted and won't be able to be contested. So again, kids and cubs, www.forever-canadian.com. Go there and express your interest, because again, they'll need at least, very, very close to 300,000 signatures, and probably a little more, given that we know that Danielle Smith likes to put her thumbs on the scales whenever she has the opportunity. So we need to sign that petition in numbers too great to manipulate. So when they come calling, please do your duty. But so far, it looks that like Mr. Lukasic is very heartened by the response so far. So let's hope that we can keep that going. All right, kids and cubs, words of wisdom. They're not my words of wisdom specifically, but it's something that I saw out there and it resonated with me when I read it. And the word wisdom went something like, never despise someone because someone else told you to. Making somebody else your enemy because someone else has decided that they're an enemy, and not because they've done anything to you, is a really, really, really um, unhealthy way to show loyalty. So there you go, kids and cubs. Yeah. Okay. I think that was a little bit of heavier wisdom, but it did resonate with me when I heard it. So I am sharing it. Kids and cubs, it could be a tough world out there. Please be kind to and gentle with yourself. Weekend's coming up. No, sorry. Well, weekend's coming up now here at the time that we are recording this. So I'm enjoying lovely Quebec City. We are going to be going to see Chicago, the musical, at Le Capitole tomorrow night, all in French. So it's going to be interesting to see one of my favorite musicals, but in an entirely different language. And I've never had an opportunity to see a show at the Capitole. So that's going to be absolutely delightful. And be walking around the city right now. They also have Les Jours de la Nouvelle France going on here. So they have people dressed in a period costume and a whole bunch of interactive exhibits and things like that that you can go to and see and immerse yourself. And, of course, when you're in Quebec City, when you're going through the gates, Porte Saint Louis and Porte Saint Jean, then walking through all the streets, the street with all the artists and everything. It's just a lovely time. Tourism is nice and people are generally happy, and it's a good vibe in this place. Quebec City is one of my 3 favorite cities in all of Canada, the other 2 being Ottawa and Victoria. Yeah, I always enjoy it when I come here. People are kind and friendly, and there's so much history and so much culture. The food is great. What's not to love? If you've never had an opportunity to visit Quebec City yet, please do. Yeah, it's you will be very, very happy that you did. It's a gorgeous trip and one that everybody should do at least once if they have the opportunity. All right. Programming notes on Monday and Tuesday. We will have some pre-records. This show here that you're watching is the Tuesday pre-record. Of course, me telling you about the pre-records on Monday doesn't really help you here because it will have passed already. So I will just do instead thanking Sarah Spanier and thanking Bonnie Critchley and their teams, both of them, for allowing us to do today's show that you're watching and yesterday's show that appeared. So a little bit of a focus on Battle River-Crowfoot as we are in the last week of campaigning before the by-election. And again, that's thanks to the candidates that made themselves available and the wonderful teams that allowed that to happen. All right. So given that it is Friday here, kids and cubs, hoping that you have a wonderful weekend. And we will see you live again on Wednesday. And I'll have more stories for you. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, again, by the time this appears, it will have been a couple of days. But thank you so much for understanding that I was not able to do a show on Thursday. As I mentioned very briefly in the clip that I recorded, woke up in the morning and not exactly sure how that happened, but I had some wooden planters on my balcony, and one of them was smoldering. There was some smoke coming out of them. So what I would normally do in the morning to prepare to do the show, I was filling every receptacle that I could find with water and trying to douse that and digging through the earth and the planters and moving it around to trying to get to the source of it and make sure that everything was doused. It was a very concerning moment, and fortunately, I think I got everything. There was nothing smoldering for about a full hour before I had to go, so I think I was able to douse everything completely with water. If not, I'm going to have one hell of a surprise waiting for me when I get home. So pray for me. But yes, I think everything has been taken care of, and I do thank you for your patience. I was hoping to be able to get back online to do something later on in the evening, and just with the way that the evening plans had been scheduled, that just was not possible. So I'm not I don't think I'm going to try and catch up for a Thursday show. We'll just have lots of content for Wednesday show. And hopefully I'll be able to get through it all, or at least spread it out over 2 or 3 days, hoping that next week will also be a slower news week to allow me to do that. But there has been a lot. Kits and Cubs, there's been the meetings with the members of Métis Nations, with the Prime Minister in terms of his third meetings with Indigenous groups with regards to Bill C-5 that took place, and a whole bunch of other things going on. So hopefully some international things too, Trump with Russia and whatnot, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we will be able to chat a little bit about those things and other things going on in Canada. Potential for a Canada Post strike, potential for an Air Canada strike. There's lots of stuff going on here. So hopefully we'll be able to cover all of that news for you next week. All right, kids and cubs, have a wonderful weekend. And now, at the count of 3, could I please hear you say, Mr. Beaver, please cue the cock. And I'm just going to pretend, because I know you're not here with me live, that you're there, and then I'm hearing you. Okay. You do what you need to do to make it work, don't you, kids and cubs? All right, there you go. I know that you're asking for it, even though I can't hear you right now. So I will oblige.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Misfit Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters, CanadianTarot.com, their uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community, and the Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from farm-fresh ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. We are grateful to the Crier Media Network for its support, Pete Jarvis for our artwork, and Paul Joseph Something for our opening and closing sequence music.
All right, before we go, I have to bask one more time in the absolute amazing wonder that is Victoria Mboko. You know me, kids and cubs. I love my tennis. I'm a very, very, very happy beaver right now. Oh, Vicky, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Vicky. All right, go off and have an absolutely delightful weekend. Amour et bisous.